And What If I Won't? By Maureen Fergus. Illustrated by Qin Leng. Benny, please put your plate in the sink.
What would you do if I said no?
Asked Benny. I tell you that just saying no is rude, replied his mom. Then I'd explain why it's important to help out around the house.
Well,
said Benny.
what would you do if I said that I liked being rude, that I didn't care about helping out around the house, and then I chucked my plate across the room?
I guess I tried to catch the plate before it hit the wall, said his mom.
But what would you do if you couldn't catch it?
Asked Benny. And it smashed into the wall, you mean? Said his mom.
Exactly,
said Benny. I'll make you clean up the mess, of course.
But what would you do if I refused to clean up the mess?
Asked Benny.
What would you do if I made an even bigger mess? So big that I practically destroyed the kitchen.
If you destroyed the kitchen, Benny, I'm afraid I'd have to give you a timeout, said his mom regretfully.
What would you do if instead of staying in timeout, I ran around the house drawing on the walls with permanent marker?
Asked Benny.
What would you do if I put on my money-wearing boots and jumped on the couch? What would you do if I purposely tore pages out of the library books?
If you did that, I'd give you to the zoo.
But what would you do if the zookeeper said she didn't want me anymore because I bit her when she tried to feed me, and I made horrible faces at people when they tried to take fake pictures of me, and I roared at the baby penguins whenever they splashed at me?
The poor penguins, cried his mom. Oh, Benny, how could you be so cruel? Instead of answering, Benny laughed like an evil genius. Then he stopped laughing and said,
Well, what would you do?
If the zookeeper didn't want you, I suppose I'd have no choice but to sell you to the circus, sighed his mom.
Really?
Said Benny.
But what would you do if I put sand in the cotton candy machine and tied the lion's tails together and pulled down the clown's pants so that everybody could see their polka dot underwear? What would you do if the ringmaster showed up at your front door and said he'd had enough of me?
I'd do the only thing a loving mother can do when her son is being so monstrously naughty that even a circus won't keep him, said Benny's mom sadly. I'd send you to the moon. Even though Benny kind of liked the idea of being sent to the moon, he didn't stop there.
But what would you do if instead of flying to the moon like I was supposed to, I shouted bad words at the people in mission control, zoomed across the galaxy, and crash landed on a planet filled with aliens?
I'd weep bitterly at the news that you'd shouted bad words, laugh joyfully at the news that you'd landed safely, and then
hire a space taxi to come and get me?
Suggested Benny. No, said his mom. Then I'd tell the aliens to keep you. Benny laughed again. Then he climbed up onto his mom's lap and whispered,
Mom, what would you do if I was so naughty that the aliens didn't want to keep me? What would you do if they used a giant alien slingshot to hurl me back to Earth and I landed right smack in the middle of our very own front yard?
I'd give you a big hug, replied his mom. I'd tell you how much I'd missed you. and how much I love you. And then I'll ask you to please put your plate in the sink. The end.